Hi. Hello, everyone. So, good morning. Hello. So, I realized that, actually, I'm going to wait for Facebook for a second, but I realized we had daylight savings time. There we are. So, hey, I realized we had daylight savings time, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Arizona doesn't change. So, it's still 9:15 here, but to all of you, it's probably an hour earlier. So, I'm glad you're here because I thought maybe no one would show up. At the moment, I cannot switch my live time due to my schedule, but I'll consider it if needed. But just so you know, those of you in Arizona, it's still the same time, but for the rest of anywhere else that did not, or that observed daylight savings time, I'm now an hour earlier. So good morning. I'm up nice and early, I guess, for some of you. I know many of you in Pacific Standard Time, it's probably a little earlier than you thought. I actually love that Arizona does not have daylight savings time because I never have to worry about it. But then I have to think of all my family members and my friends and how it changes for them and not for me. So good morning, good morning. So for those of you that can make it today, great. Thanks for being here. In the future, just remember the time might be slightly different for now. Well, I got a few from good morning from New York, from the East Coast. So sorry, guys. I guess I'm an hour earlier, huh? Surprise. So I hope everyone had a great weekend. Yeah, Vic, everyone else changed daylight savings times, but Arizona does not observe that. So I used to be Pacific Standard Time, but now I'm Mountain Standard Time. But my time's the same, but it changes for all of you, right? Aren't I an hour early for you? Yeah, so Richard says it's 11:20 there. I used to be on at 12:20, right? Yeah, just trying to throw you all off, that's all. So, good morning. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I enjoyed my weekend, spent a lot of time with the kids, took them out for ice cream yesterday, which they loved. So that was a lot of fun. And it's absolutely gorgeous weather here in Arizona, so I really can't complain. But I will tell you, good morning, lots of you from other areas, good morning. I will tell you that here, with it being so dry here in the desert and it getting cooler, my skin is itchy. I find myself scratching a lot, and I can't imagine that I'm alone because many of you out there have also had quite the season change. Now, we're still warm here in Arizona for the most part. Actually, it's going to be 93 today, which is kind of odd. We've been down in the 80s. It's been gorgeous, but you know, your skin gets a little bit drier. So I wanted to talk today about dry skin, what you can do at home to help your skin, how you can plump up your skin to not show those winter wrinkles and scratch marks. Sound good? Hello. Good morning. Just seeing all my good mornings. Yes. Okay. So, of course, the winter season can come with a lot of fun memories, holidays, getting ready for holidays, but it also comes with cold, dry air. And cold, dry air can sure do a number on your skin. And you may be surprised to learn that it's not just the change in weather that causes your skin to be itchy. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and what you can do about it. So first of all, I want to remind you that your skin is your largest detoxification organ. Okay, so it is put there to protect us from toxins coming in and to help us expel toxins that are going out. Okay, so we have to take very good care of our skin. If you have any sort of outbreak on the skin, whether it simply be dry, flaky skin, or whether it be acne or rashes, some even autoimmune that goes to the skin, like psoriasis and such, that is a sign that your skin is having a hard time maintaining that barrier, right? And we need to pay attention to the internal parts of you as well as the external parts of you. Now, that may sound crazy, but it's true, right? So one of the first things I look at when someone presents to me with a skin issue is how's their detoxification? What's their chemical exposure? Those types of things. because the skin is actually quite a key to your well-being and the health of your body. So I can tell if you take two people of the same age and one has very sallow, discolored skin, and the other one has very vibrant, bright skin, they might be the same age, but one will look younger than the other. And usually what I see in their skin represents what I see inside. Yes, sorry, Mary John, we did have that time change. I'm so sorry. I considered going on an hour later since we don't change time, but it just didn't work today. So I'll see if I can still get you guys up bright and early. I suspect I'll lose some of my Pacific Coast people that aren't up early. Any of you in Pacific Standard Time at the moment tuning in? So we're going to talk about factors that affect your skin health. First of all, and I'm sure that you guys that watch me regularly predict this one, water. Okay, yes. Well, good morning. I'm glad you're here early then. Good morning, good morning. We'll get used to the new time change. It'll be fine. All right, so your water intake. If your skin is itchy and dry, the first thing you need to consider is, are you drinking enough water? Now, for those of you that sit here every morning and listen to me talk about this, it's half your body weight in ounces at minimum. So if you weigh 170 pounds, you're going to need approximately 85 ounces of water, right? A day minimum, right? So our skin is made up of water. It's made up of water and fat. We're going to talk about fats in a minute as well. You can't hear me? Sorry to hear that. Yes, Cindy, skin issues do come a lot from the liver, as well as external exposure to toxins as well, and nutrition. So we're going to get into some of the nutrition aspects of that as well. Most of the reason why your skin is itchy comes down to just a few factors for the most part. One, water intake. Another being nutrient deficiencies that are affecting your skin. Now, how those affect your skin are often because they don't allow water to come into the cell. So it kind of goes hand in hand. Or perhaps there's an overload of toxins coming towards your cell, and in that case, or towards your skin, in that case, you need to drink more water to help clear it out. So water addresses a lot of the main reasons why your skin may be itchy and sallow and not quite where it needs to be. So I would argue that probably the most important thing you can do for your skin is water. There was a 2015 study. It was on 49 healthy female adults, and it revealed that those who consumed more water experienced significant improvement in both superficial and deep skin hydration. We're going to talk about the different layers of skin in a minute that represent that, but actually saw improvement in their skin elasticity and youthfulness by simply drinking water. In this particular study, they had to increase their water intake by about 68 ounces each day. So I ask you, how many ounces of water truly do you drink, right? So my minimum requirement is about 65 ounces a day, and that's 2 of these. So I drink at least 2 of these a day, if not 3. Now, it took a while for me to get there because I've always been chronically dehydrated. It wasn't something that innately came to me, especially as the weather gets cooler here in Arizona. You would think I would still drink water, but for some reason I don't, and it becomes a lot more difficult for me to keep up with this. But if you are really, let's say you're only having a couple glasses of water a day, it's very difficult to increase your intake by 60 ounces. So what I recommend is every day add 8 more ounces, and just try to increase it slowly over the course of a week to where you should be, and then maintain it. Some tips on that. I personally have a really hard time drinking out of a glass, like getting my requirement out of a glass. For some reason, when I put it in something like this with a straw and I just carry it with me everywhere, I get my minimum. I think it's that, when I'm driving, I'm at a stoplight, I lean over, I sip out of the straw. I seem to get my water in faster and more efficiently if I use a straw. Now, my husband's opposite. He likes a big open water glass that he can drink. I just don't refill it when I do that because I get too busy, I get distracted, I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and then I forget. So I just know that I have to refill this once per day. And often I get to twice a day just because I get through it so quickly. The other thing that I've found that's very helpful is I focus on drinking at least half my requirement before noon. I find that if I get half my requirement in before noon, it's very easy to finish that out for the day. But if for some reason I get up in the morning and I get busy and I'm doing all my stuff and I don't get that first half in by noon, it's a lot harder for me to catch up. So those are some tips on how to stay hydrated, okay? The other thing is, and this goes hand in hand with the nutrition portion that we're going to talk about in a second, eating a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, right? Eating a lot of green leafy vegetables not only provide more water to your diet, but they also provide the minerals needed to absorb that water into the skin. Okay, so that's very important as well. Nuts, seeds, healthy plants, fruits, those types of things only contribute to better skin health as a whole. Okay? Mary John, I hear you. I don't drink as much when it gets cooler either. Sometimes in the winter, which I call it winter, but I live in Phoenix. Let's be real. It's not really winter. It's more like perpetual spring, but I drink a lot more herbal teas to get my hydration in, but I still try to get my minimum of water. People ask that all the time. Well, I drink tea, I drink coffee. Does that count? I usually like to get my minimum in water, in pure water. Now, whether you add lemon to it or a little bit, you know, some crushed raspberries or something, that's fine, or cucumber. But I try to get my minimum in water, and then anything beyond that is just bonus, okay? Now, I can say I was one that was notorious for not drinking enough water, and I had so many health problems because of it. And now that I've gotten into a habit of drinking it, I think my skin looks much healthier, much younger, far less wrinkles. I feel better, I have more energy. So hydration contributes to so much, and skin just being one of them. So if you're having that dry, flaky skin, make sure you're getting enough internal water. Now, with that said, we move into number 2, which has to do with diet. So here's the problem with water. Sometimes is that if you don't have proper nutrition, if you don't have the right minerals and nutrients in your body to help the water absorb into the cell, then you drink it and it comes right back out. You don't get the absorption into the body or into the skin or into the cell. So this is important. That's why diet matters. Do I drink tap water? No, not in Arizona. Arizona does not have high quality tap water. I know that in other areas, when I grew up in the Northwest, we used to drink tap water. We certainly don't down here in Arizona. No, I have a filtered water system in my house. I also drink bottled occasionally. Okay, so your diet. Dry skin is actually one of the main indicators for nutrient deficiency. Okay, so if somebody comes to me with dry skin, rashes, problems with their skin, something's going on internally. Okay, so in order for your skin to be healthy, we need to have vitamin C. We need to have minerals. These are all given to us by our diet, our healthy diet. So vitamin C is critical because not only does it help protect you against UV rays and skin damage, but it also helps stimulate collagen synthesis. So when we're looking at the deeper layers of the skin, vitamin C is pivotal there. And along with that, essential fatty acids. So let me tell you about skin. So in skin, we have 2 main layers to kind of discuss. We have the epidermis and we have the dermis, okay? The epidermis contains pigment, so that's where we get our tan, that's where we have different color skin, and it serves as a barrier. That's its purpose, okay? So it's blocking external factors from causing problems. And then we have the deeper layer, the layer beneath the epidermis, which is the dermis. The dermis contains collagen, elastin, and provides nutritional support to the epidermis, okay? So one of the primary components of our epidermis is fat, right? Our skin is made of fat. So if you are deficient in fats, not only will that impact your overall inflammatory response in your health, but it also makes your skin really sallow. So if you could imagine, like, if you want something plump, like we don't always want to be plump, we don't like the words plump, but the one thing we do want plump is our skin. We want nice hydrated skin. If the cells are all dehydrated and, you know, crinkled down, we're not going to get nice smooth skin, and that comes down to fat, water, and nutrients, okay? Why not store food or supplement for vitamin C? Both. I do recommend, especially during this climate, that we're taking additional vitamin C, but yes, food sources of vitamin C are very, very, very important, and that is not just citrus. I do have a live on this. I do also have an article at drpingle.com if you type in vitamin C to learn more about that. So it is important to eat and absorb these healthy fats to help our skin health. Now, here's one big problem. How many of you out there don't have a gallbladder? A lot, right? I can't remember what the stats were on gallbladder removal, but it's high, okay? So a lot of you don't break down fats well, so even if you're eating them, you're not getting the full nutrition out of them, okay? So it is important to make sure that you are not only eating healthy fats, but you are also absorbing them and therefore using them so that the water can get into the cells and hydrate your skin from the inside, okay? Essential fatty acids assist with healing of your skin. They assist with fighting inflammation. They slow the aging process. They also benefit your cardiovascular system, your immune system. Essential fatty acids are essentially your omega-3 fatty acids, okay? So dietarily, on a plant-based diet, you can find these a lot in nuts and seeds. That's where I get them primarily, nuts and seeds. I sprinkle hemp hearts on things. I use pumpkin seeds or pepitas. I put nuts on pretty much everything, make things out of nuts. Avocados, great source. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the avocado in a moment. So, very, very important to get those fats in and make sure you're absorbing them well. So if you're someone who has more of a fat malabsorption issue, if you've had your gallbladder removed, you have celiac disease, you're under a ton of stress where digestion is poor, you need to make sure that you're taking some enzymes to help break those fats down so that you can actually get the utilization of them as well. What's the time frame where you should drink fluids before or after a meal? You know, it's been argued that you shouldn't drink fluids with a meal. Because it dilutes the stomach acid. So if you're someone that's particular to digestive issues, you may want to hold off on drinking water with the meal. You might want to wait till you've digested and drink in between. It's okay to take some small sips here and there, but I wouldn't go crazy on downing drinks with your meal at this point. 10 cups of veggies a day. Yeah, absolutely. Go crazy. All right. Another thing, diets too high in sugar have been shown to cause itchy skin. Now, this goes back to the liver earlier. We were talking about the liver, you know, itchy skin can relate to liver toxicity as well. I have a few patients who itch their arms in the middle of the night. And as soon as we got their, you know, their liver on par and we started to use liver support herbs, the itchiness went away. Right? So the body does itch. It does come out in the skin. But eating a diet too high in sugar absolutely increases dry skin and itchiness of the skin. There was a study in 2017 that followed 64 adults, okay, and it revealed that those that consumed more sugar in their diet, and I'm talking processed sugars. I'm not talking apples, oranges, bananas. I'm talking sugar, okay? Those who consumed more sugar therefore had higher insulin levels. They also experienced more acne. Okay, so sugar does have an impact on your skin, you know? A lot of debates about lectins and seeds and grains. Yeah, there are a lot of debates. I think it comes down to really how much of what are you eating. I mean, I eat a lot of lentils, which I know can be high in lectins, but I don't eat them every single day. So I think it all comes down to modification of diet and also your underlying health history. Just to remind you guys, I definitely preach biochemical individuality. We are all different. We all have different lifestyles. We all have different diets. We all have different stress response. We all live in different climates. We have different demands on us. We have different underlying health conditions and genetics. So therefore, our diets need to be modified to that. But in general, the more plants you can eat, the better off you are. Okay? Yeah, fructose, itchy skin when you eat sugar. Yep, with you guys. Okay? So let's talk about some home remedies that you can actually use topically, okay, for that. Oh, if you pressure cook beans, you'll kill the lectins. Yeah, right. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. I don't have too much trouble in my particular biochemical individuality to eat beans, but I know some people worry about the lectins. I've always come down to whenever someone says you may never eat this or you may never eat this, I don't think that you can apply that to everyone. That's putting everyone in exactly the same box. However, there have been numerous studies that show that processed foods will absolutely cause harm to your health. You know, I think that's gone across the board. But as far as like how much of this should you eat, can you eat this or that of these healthy options, you know, it can be very variable amongst a person. Okay, but that's a great tip. Thank you, Winosaur, to pressure cook beans to kill off the lectins. Very good. Yep, grandma lived till 99 on beans. Yep, my family has similar stories. Lots of plants, eating a lot of plants and lived long. And those who didn't did not live long. You know, from Spain. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about 7 home remedies that you can use topically for your skin. Sound good? So one of my favorite topical remedies I used in my younger son when he was a child, because he had eczema. It didn't really matter what he ate, what he did. If he went in the pool, he was born in the summer, and my husband was a swim instructor at the time, so he started putting him in the pool right away, the moment that his cord fell off. And every time he'd get out of the pool, he'd break out in a rash because he was allergic to the chlorine, I guess. Now he's fine, but back then he was not. And I fell in love with Shea Butter, 100% pure Shea Butter. Oddly enough, his name was Shea, is Shea. So he used to always say, "Where's my butter? Where's my butter?" when he was a toddler. But 100% Shea Butter works very well as an emollient on the skin. So for those of you with eczema, you may have been prescribed creams, specialty creams that have a lot of mineral oil in them. Now there's a benefit to that in some respect, and that what the mineral oil does is it traps things from getting in. However, it can also draw hydration out. So finding other options that can trap in the moisture to allow basically for regeneration of moisture is great without pulling more out, and that would be Shea Butter. So Shea Butter has been well studied as well. There was a 2016 study that revealed how powerful Shea Butter can be. 25 adults used a moisturizer that contained Shea Butter three times a day for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, they found that they experienced a 79% reduction in itchy skin, and their skin hydration increased by 44%. Okay? So other eczema related benefits were also noted. They showed improvement from irritation, improvement in roughness, overall appearance, and more. Okay, I prefer 100% Shea Butter rather than the products that just add Shea Butter to it, just because sometimes when I'm using something topically, I want to know exactly what I'm using, and when there's all sorts of additives to it, even if they're natural additives, sometimes it's hard to tell. I would always buy the really thick 100% Shea Butter and put that on his dry skin, and it works really well. In fact, I do that now. As the winter season comes in, I have it by my bed, I rub it on my arms, my hands before bed, and it really absolutely helps. Great for legs as well when your legs get all flaky and dry in the winter. So Shea Butter is a great one. Now number 2, and this is one you may have in your cabinet, and that is coconut oil. Okay? Coconut obviously has a moment, right? Like right now it's in everything. Coconut is so important. Coconut oil is great internally for an internal source of essential fatty acids. It's also great topically, okay? It can be used in a very light amount, or you can go really heavy with it. So I love the customization of that, depending on how much you need. Not only is it a great fat source, but it's a fantastic option for topical use for itchy skin specifically, and peely skin. It also has antimicrobial aspects to it. So I don't know if you've ever used coconut oil like on a fungal toe or something like that, but it actually works quite well. Coconut oil has a nice antifungal component to it as well. There was a study that looked at using coconut oil topically and found that those who use it on their legs twice daily for 2 weeks experienced significant improvements in hydration. So that's something you can go to your kitchen, you can grab it out of your cabinet, and you can rub it all over you right now, right? I usually like to make sure that you're getting unrefined virgin coconut oil, if possible, just for purity, okay? And there are other oils that also do this, and this moves into number 3, things like almond oil. Sweet almond oil smells so good. Sweet almond oil has a real heavy oil component to it. Jojoba is one that I use. Someone just mentioned they use it on their face. I agree. I'd more lean towards jojoba on the face. Although I have used coconut oil on the face. It depends on your skin. You know, it depends on what you can use and what you can't. Argan oil, okay. A lot of people use that on their hair. Coconut oil cured your itchy, dry ears. Can you apply all this to stretch marks? Yes. I would also put vitamin E, 100% vitamin E oil into the stretch marks as well. Ideally, you want to get them hydrated before you develop the stretch marks. So like if you're pregnant and you have an expanding belly, I used to rub coconut oil all over my belly. I think I did that every single day when I was pregnant, and I don't have any stretch marks. Actually, the only stretch mark I have is on my back, and I didn't rub anything on my back. I didn't think about that. I figured the stretch marks would all be in the front. And they're small, they're not really noticeable. I see them, but that's the only place that I have them, and it's probably because I didn't do anything about it. I didn't think about it. But rubbing coconut oil on the belly not only helps with stretch mark, but also just kind of bonds you to the baby. So for those of you growing a baby in there, there's some advice. Olive oil. I know olive oil has been used a lot culturally. I know that my grandmother used to use olive oil every day on her face, and she had absolutely beautiful skin up until the point where she passed at age 96. Olive oil can be very helpful and very available. Grapeseed oil, those types of things. All those kitchen oils can really become beneficial. As far as on the body, not on the face, I think you can go a little bit heavier, like shea butter and coconut oil. Oat infused bath. Yep, coming to that one. Bear with me. These suggestions would all play a role in psoriasis. I have a question on Facebook about psoriasis. All of these topical solutions would be great for that. Diet, definitely. I would eliminate dairy. I would probably eliminate gluten and wheat as well, in addition to the topical aspects and making sure that your nutrition for the skin is there. Minerals, vitamin C, probiotics, those types of things for psoriasis. You have to treat psoriasis as an autoimmune condition in addition to being a skin condition. So there's two different aspects you have to consider. So diet, anti-inflammatory, nutrition really matters, plus the topical things to help when you have a flare. I hope that helps you. Okay? If any of you are looking for a good mineral, my Total Mineral does work great for skin health, for getting water into the cell. Make sure you combine that though with a healthy diet, okay? Make sure you're getting those good fats in there as well, okay? Avocado. Now you guys know how much I love eating avocado. I love it. They are a great source of fat and vitamins, but they are also a great topical treatment for dry skin. They contain vitamin E, okay, in addition, which is great. There was a study of over 700 women where researchers found that eating fats like avocado resulted in better skin elasticity, and that makes sense. But you can also use it topically, and it's a component of many masks. You can rub it directly on skin areas. I have, I think, a few beauty recipes on my website that include avocado for that reason. I was also just cued into oatmeal, so let's talk about oatmeal. Oatmeal has been used, oh my gosh, forever for skin conditions, okay? I cannot ship to Portugal yet, but I am working on international shipping on my supplements. I'm changing platforms, so I'll see what I can do. I'm working on it, okay? Sorry about that. Can you order from Amazon in Portugal? Like if it was put on Amazon? Curious. Coming to aloe vera. You guys are ahead of me today. Maybe you guys knew this, right? Okay, so oatmeal. Oatmeal's great. Not only does it help hydrate, but it also has really strong anti-inflammatory properties. So there was a 2015 study that followed almost 30 women who experienced dry skin on their lower legs. So they applied a lotion that was primarily oatmeal, and they found that they had significant reduction in inflammation and improvements in skin dryness, scaling, roughness, and itchiness. The problem with this is because people know the power of oatmeal, a lot of products add a little bit of oatmeal and then market it as an oatmeal product. I do caution you, be leery. Make sure there really is a significant amount of oatmeal in there. I actually prefer to use actual oatmeal. So you can put oatmeal in your bath. It's a little messy, okay? But you can also use oatmeal and honey, rub it on the skin, right? And make a direct product that way. Otherwise, you need to find an all-natural colloidal oatmeal lotion and make sure that it actually contains enough oatmeal to do the job and it's not full of a bunch of other junk, okay? Now, speaking of honey, are you guys familiar with Manuka honey? That's great for the skin. Not only is it anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial, but it has wound healing properties, okay? And it's also very moisturizing. So if you combine Manuka honey with oatmeal and avocado for that matter, you could have quite the mask on your hands. But studies have shown that Manuka honey significantly improve eczema symptoms when applied topically each night for a week. Now, can you use regular honey? You can. It won't quite be the same. I really recommend Manuka honey for topical applications, okay? Number 7 is aloe vera, brought up on Facebook over there. Now, aloe vera, I'm gonna talk about it topically, but you can also use aloe vera internally Aloe vera juice is great for gut health. It's an anti-inflammatory to the gut. So if you're having a lot of skin issues, ultimately when there are skin issues, and this goes back to the psoriasis question, this goes to acne, rosacea, eczema, any type of skin flare, always, listen to me carefully now folks, always look to the gut. Okay? Look to gut flora, look to digestion, look to inflammation in the gut. You might be reacting to something you're eating, your gut integrity might be poor, you might need better probiotic flora, and aloe vera can help with that internally as well as topically. So many of you know about using aloe vera on a cut, right? If you get a cut, you add aloe vera, it heals it up, right? Makes it all happy, doesn't hurt as much. Have you used aloe vera on a sunburn? That's a great example. If you think about how it cools it down, it does the same internally as well. So it can provide dry, itchy skin relief. And there was a study on 30 women that had really dry hands. And what they did is they applied gloves that had aloe vera inside of them to the participants' hands and noticed improvements in as little as 3.5 days. Okay? It improved skin integrity, decreased the appearance of fine wrinkles, and it increased moisture in the skin. Okay? So that is a fantastic one. So the top 7 remedies that I use the most topically for dry skin: shea butter, 100% preferred, shea butter, coconut oil, other natural oils like almond, jojoba, avocado oil, olive oil, avocados, oatmeal, manuka honey, and aloe vera. And also pay attention to your gut, okay? Because the skin is our largest detoxification organ. So anytime you have something coming through the skin, you need to look at your digestion. Are you exposed to excessive toxins? Are you not removing toxins? Maybe you're not breaking fat down well. Maybe you've had a gallbladder removed, or you have some sort of malabsorption syndrome where the fats are not being absorbed to be able to plump up the skin. Or maybe you're simply not drinking enough water, right? These are some things to always consider with dry skin. Usually, if the dry skin is due to just a change in weather, by just using these topical remedies, it'll snap back pretty quickly. So make sure you're drinking enough water as well, okay? Kind of a quick one today. I haven't put it on, Patricia, the question from Portugal, I haven't put my supplements on Amazon yet, but I'm curious, for any of you that are out of country, can you order from Amazon? Like if I had an on Amazon store, can it come to you? I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of fees associated, and I'm not sure you guys would want to pay the custom fees to get my supplements over there. That's why I haven't done it. I haven't had any of you come forward and say, yeah, I'd like to pay an additional $50 to get it to Spain or whatever, so I just haven't done it because it would probably end up costing you far more money. But if you guys are interested and that's something you want to do, let me know. Send me some messages or so through the website and let me know. And I'd be happy to look further into it. I know some of you have. All right, well, kind of quiet today. I think I missed a lot of you with the change in time. So for those of you that do have daylight savings time, my time changed a bit. I am now on Mountain Time since Arizona does not change. I was on Pacific Time. So now I will be at 8:15 Pacific Time, 9:15 Mountain Time, and so forth. Which enzymes do you recommend? I can't give specific product recommendations unless it's my own. I do have an enzyme coming out. I don't have it yet. But I like any that, usually I look at professional line products. I usually like ones that have betaine in them, and you want to make sure that they have quite a few enzymes in them, not simply like a lactase, for example. It needs to have a ton. I can tell you the ones at your traditional pharmacy are not potent enough. You need to go to Whole Foods, Sprouts, online. Couple of brands that I use that I love, I'll quickly rattle off. If you catch it, good for you. Orthomolecular, one of my favorites, Ceroil, Pharmax, are other ones that I use, Pure Encapsulations. There you go. I'm not affiliated with any of them. Do I plan to come out with a prenatal? Not a prenatal specifically, but I am coming out with a really good multivitamin that can be used while pregnant. So there you go. And that should be soon. So cool. Okay, guys, I'll be back here tomorrow, 9:15 Mountain Standard Time, tomorrow morning. Thank you for being here. I know it's kind of a crazy week for everyone this week, so hang in there. Remember to smile, be nice to the people around you, right? Let off the energy that brings positive energy to you. Just remember that what you send out is what you attract. So let's all go out there and smile and be kind to one another, despite the craziness in our world right now, okay? And I will be back tomorrow with another topic. Take care. Bye-bye now.